Most people treat failure like a stop sign. You mess up once, and you hesitate. Twice, and the doubt starts creeping in. 3 times, you convince yourself it's not worth trying anymore. Tom doesn't do that. He's been flattened, blown up, thrown out of windows. And he still gets back up. No hesitation, no self-pity, no overthinking. Just a new plan, another try, and the belief that maybe this time, it'll work. And if you start handling your losses the way he does, failure will stop being the thing that holds you back and start being the thing that pushes you forward. And that's the first thing Tom can teach us about failure. You can't give it time to settle in. The longer you sit in that feeling, the heavier it gets. Most of us treat failure like a wound that needs days, weeks, or even months to heal. We replay it in our heads. We pick it apart. We tell ourselves stories about why it happened and why we're probably not cut out for it anyway. Tom doesn't give himself that luxury. The second a plan blows up in his face, literally, he's already sketching out the next one. No post-mortem, no what if, no waiting for courage to show up. He knows the only way to keep moving forward is to actually move. And here's the truth most of us miss. Courage isn't what you feel before you act. Courage is built in the act itself. You don't become fearless and then take the next step. You take the next step, and somewhere along the way, the fear starts to fade. Tom doesn't avoid failure by moving quickly. He becomes immune to it. Lesson 1 is about moving fast after you fall. Lesson 2 is about how you move. Tom never tries the same thing twice. Every failure forces him to get creative. One day it's a mousetrap. The next, it's a contraption so overcomplicated it looks like it belongs in a science fair. And when that blows up, he'll turn a teapot into a submarine, a chair into a catapult, or a piano into a trapdoor. It's not just trial and error, it's adaptation. Most of us, when we fail, go back to the exact same plan, maybe with one tiny change, and then wonder why it still doesn't work. We try to force the world to bend to our first idea instead of letting failure push us toward a better one. Tom doesn't do that. Every loss adds a new tool to his arsenal. Every setback is research. Failure isn't proof he's not good enough. It's proof he's one step closer to figuring it out. And maybe that's the shift we need. To stop seeing failure as wasted time and start seeing it as the fastest way to discover something we never would have thought of otherwise. Because if you let it, failure can do more than humble you. It can turn you into the kind of person who's impossible to stop. Tom gets knocked down in ways that would humiliate most of us. He's flattened, burned, smacked in the face, and made the punchline of every scene. But here's the thing. He never looks embarrassed. If anything, he turns it into part of the show. The pain becomes comedy. The loss becomes entertainment. He doesn't hide from it. He plays with it. And that's a lesson most of us forget. We carry our failures like scars we don't want anyone to see. We replay them in our heads, hoping nobody remembers. But humor is a kind of armor. If you can laugh at something, it loses its power over you. If you can find the absurdity in your lowest moment, you stop being a victim of it. It's not about pretending it didn't hurt. It's about refusing to let it break you. When you laugh, you remind yourself, and everyone watching, that you're still in control. Tom shows us that sometimes the best way to handle failure isn't to fight it or hide it, but to turn it into a story worth telling. Sometimes in Tom and Jerry, the chase stops, not because Tom gives up, but because something bigger shows up. A bulldog, a mischievous kitten, or a threat that forces Tom and Jerry to work together. In those moments, the goal shifts. The enemy becomes the teammate. Failure can do that in real life too. Sometimes it's not a dead end. It's a sign you're meant to be chasing something else, or chasing it in a different way. The path you planned might not be the one that gets you where you're supposed to go. Tom isn't fearless because he never gets hurt. He's fearless because he's been hurt so many times that it no longer scares him. Every fall, every slam, every defeat strips away a little more of that fear until there's nothing left to hold him back. That's why he runs head first into the chase, again and again. Not because he's certain he'll win, but because losing doesn't scare him anymore. And maybe that's the point. Fear of failure is worse than failure itself. Fear keeps you frozen. Failure moves you forward. The more you face it, the smaller it becomes, until one day it's just another part of the process. So remember what Tom shows us. Get up fast, adapt when things fall apart, laugh at the pain, let failure change your direction, and never let fear decide when you stop. Because resilience isn't about never falling. It's about running back into the fight again and again until the day you finally win. And maybe even after that. Now, ask yourself, what would your life look like if you handled failure the way he does?